Let me tell you something powerful. You were never meant to live in lack. You were created for abundance, but abundance doesn't start in your bank account, your business, or your job. It starts in your mind. If you want to shift your life, you must first shift your mindset, because mindset is the soil and abundance is the harvest. Let's get something straight. There is no such thing as stuck. There is only thinking that keeps you stuck. A person doesn't get stuck in life. They get stuck in thought. You're not limited by your circumstances. You're limited by the interpretation you've been rehearsing about those circumstances. You want more. You've got to think more. You've got to believe bigger. You've got to expect better. Key point number one in your mind is a multiplier. What you believe expands. Your thoughts are seeds, and your faith is fertilizer. Whatever you plant, if you water it with repetition and belief, it grows. If you think thoughts of limitation, lack, fear, guess what multiplies? Lack and fear. But if you sow thoughts of expansion, opportunity, creativity, and faith, your harvest will reflect that. You're not waiting on abundance. Abundance is waiting on your permission. The moment you expand your thinking, you expand your receiving. Key point number two, obstacles are opportunities in disguise. Growth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. Growth is disguised as pressure, as failure, as resistance. But here's the key. The people who win are the ones who stop calling obstacle problems and start calling them promotions in disguise. That client who ghosted you, a lesson in discernment. That deal that fell through, a redirection to something better. That delay, training ground for your next dimension. You've got to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this doing for me? Key point number three, environment shapes mindset. Choose it deliberately. You can't cultivate a growth mindset while surrounding yourself with people who are addicted to excuses. You've got to guard your mind like a millionaire guards his vault. The people you talk to, the books you read, the videos you watch, they're watering your mind every day. If you want to rise, then you must change your atmosphere. Stop listening to broke thinking and start tuning in to abundant belief. Stop repeating history and start writing legacy. Key point number four, speak abundance before you see it. Your words are spiritual contracts. Every time you speak, you're signing off on your future. So speak in alignment with where you're going, not where you are. Stop saying, I'm broke. It's hard. Start declaring, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm rising. Speak as if it's already done. Why? Because in the mind of someone with a growth mindset, it is done. Faith doesn't wait to see it before believing it. It believes it until it sees it. Listen, you're not here by accident. You're not average. You're not stuck. You're not limited. You are designed to expand, designed to dominate lack, designed to multiply resources. But none of that can happen until you own your mind. So today, choose growth, choose abundance, choose to believe bigger, and the results will show up because you did. Your mind is the most powerful multiplier you will ever possess. Everything you experience in your external world is a direct reflection of what you've been rehearsing internally. Most people don't realize that belief is a force. It's like compound interest for your thoughts. Whatever you believe, you attract more of. Whatever you expect, you begin to experience. When someone says they want abundance, but they think like someone in survival mode, they never see that abundance. Why? Because their beliefs are not aligned with what they say they want. You can't think lack and expect overflow. You can't think small and experience expansion. The reason people remain stuck is not because of lack of opportunity, but because of a lack of alignment between their thinking and their vision. The mind is like a thermostat. It's set to a specific temperature, and everything in your life adjusts to match that setting. If your mindset is set to just enough, even if overflow shows up, you will unconsciously sabotage it to match your setting. That's why the first step to abundance is not changing your strategy. It's changing your settings. It's looking deep into what you believe about money, growth, success, and your own worth. What do you believe you deserve? What do you believe is possible? Because here's the truth. What you believe expands. You can have all the right systems in your business, but if you believe you'll never make more than 5 figures, that's exactly where you'll stay. You could be the most talented person in the room, but if your belief is rooted in fear, you'll shrink every time opportunity knocks. Belief is the driver. And when you understand that, you stop blaming circumstances and start taking full authority over your thinking. The problem is most people are multiplying the wrong thoughts. They wake up and meditate on problems. They dwell on past failures. They spend time rehearsing rejection, doubt, and scarcity. That becomes the seed they plant, and guess what? They water it with repetition, fertilize it with emotion, and harvest it in their daily life. If you want to shift your life, you have to shift the thoughts you allow to multiply. You must decide that your mind is no longer a playground for fear. It's a tool for faith. You have to intentionally feed it with thoughts of growth, abundance, and victory. You can't do this once and expect result. Just like planting a seed, you must consistently nurture your belief. Read daily, affirm constantly, visualize frequently, journal intentionally. The more you saturate your mind with the thoughts that match the future you desire, the faster you start to move toward that future. And it's not magic, it's alignment. It's about tuning your inner world to match the frequency of the life you're believing for. When your mind begins to operate from that level of belief, you no longer see problems as dead ends. You see them as detours to better. You no longer question your worth. You walk in authority. You stop reacting to life and begin creating life. You multiply what you believe. That's why poverty is not a money issue. It's a mindset issue. Lack is not about income. It's about insight. Once you believe that you are worthy of overflow, once you believe that success is your assignment, once you believe that abundance is your natural state, everything in your life begins to rise to meet that level of belief. Your conversations change, your posture shifts, your decisions improve, your energy upgrades. You stop tolerating things that don't serve your future. You no longer need people to validate you because your belief becomes your foundation. That's the power of understanding that your mind is a multiplier. It doesn't judge whether a thought is good or bad, right or wrong. It just expands what you repeat. That's why guarding your mind is non-negotiable. It's why you must speak life even when things look dead. It's why you must believe big even when results are small. Because when your belief expands, your results follow. Every great transformation begins in the mind, and every great breakthrough is born in belief. Your mind is multiplying something right now. The only question is, what are you giving it permission to expand? Obstacles are not barriers meant to stop you. They are invitations meant to build you. Every time you encounter resistance, you are being given an opportunity to develop the strength required for your next level. The problem is most people mislabel their obstacles. They call it failure when it's feedback. They call it rejection when it's redirection. They call it delay when it's actually development. The way you frame your obstacles determines whether you grow or give up. Most people look at resistance and say, this must not be for me. But the ones who win understand that resistance is proof that you're headed in the right direction. Nothing great is birthed without pressure. Diamonds are formed in pressure. Gold is refined through fire. Strong muscles are built by resistance. Why would your destiny be any different? Growth never comes dressed as comfort. It comes disguised as challenges. But inside of every challenge is a hidden champion, and that champion is you. The moment you stop asking, why is this happening to me, and start asking, what is this creating in me, everything changes. That business deal that fell through didn't break you. It built your discernment. That person who walked away didn't devalue you. They made space for someone better. That closed door didn't limit you. It protected you. You were never meant to avoid obstacles. You were meant to overcome them. That's where real growth comes from. Books, not from theories, but from standing face to face with a problem and deciding you're going to rise above it. Your obstacles reveal your mindset. Do you interpret them as signs to quit or signs to rise? The obstacle is never the issue. The interpretation is two people can face the same struggle. One gives up, one grows up. The difference isn't what they faced, it's what they believed about what they faced. One person sees a mountain and says it's impossible. Another sees the same mountain and starts climbing. What changed? Not the mountain. The mindset. That's why people who cultivate a growth mindset always find a way forward. They don't see setbacks as endings, they see them as setups. They don't fear failure, they study it. They don't wait for perfect conditions, they use imperfect moments to become stronger. Every time you overcome an obstacle, you increase your capacity. Every time you rise above resistance, you become more. You become wiser, sharper, bolder. And that version of you is the one abundance is attracted to. The truth is, obstacles don't block the path. They are the path. They are the gateway to your greatest transformation. Most people want the promise without the process, the reward without the resistance. But the growth is in the grind. The power is in the pressure. The strength is in the struggle. You've got to stop resenting your challenges and start respecting them. They're making you. They're molding you. They're measuring your readiness for more. Abundance doesn't come to the one who avoids hardship. It comes to the one who overcomes it. If you're facing something hard right now, don't wish it away. Lean into it. Ask, what is this teaching me? What skill is this sharpening? What belief is this challenging? What version of me is this trying to reveal? Your next level isn't hiding behind ease. It's hiding inside the obstacle you've been trying to avoid. The moment you embrace it, you evolve. The moment you stop resisting it, you rise. You've got to shift your language around obstacles. Don't say, I can't. Say, I'm learning how. Don't say, this is too hard. I say, this is growing me. Don't say, I failed. Say, I discovered one way that didn't work. When you change your language, you change your perspective. When you change your perspective, you change your power. Your obstacle is not your enemy. It is your assignment. It is the training ground for your breakthrough. And once you master that mindset, there is no challenge that can stop you. There is no failure that can defeat you. There is no resistance that can keep you from your reward. Because you understand the truth that obstacles are not roadblocks. They are revelations. They are opportunities. And when you grow through what you go through, you step into the abundance that was always waiting for you on the other side. Environment is one of the most powerful forces shaping your mindset and ultimately your destiny. You cannot grow a mindset of abundance while staying rooted in a soil of negativity, doubt, and limitation. The people around you, the conversations you entertain, the energy you allow in your space. All of it is either feeding your faith or fueling your fear. Most people underestimate the impact of their environment. They try to elevate their mindset while surrounded by voices that echo mediocrity. They want to rise while keeping relationships that constantly pull them back down. You can't soar like an eagle when you spend all your time with chickens. Your environment is either stretching your thinking or suffocating your belief. Growth is not just about effort. It's also about exposure. When you are constantly exposed to small thinking, you unconsciously shrink your own dreams. But when you place yourself in environments that challenge you, inspire you, and force you to think higher, your mind starts to elevate naturally. You begin to believe for more because you see more. You begin to expect more because you're surrounded by people who refuse to settle. That's why being intentional about your environment is not a luxury. It's a necessity. You must deliberately design the atmosphere that aligns with the future you're building. That means being selective about who you give access to your time, your ears, and your energy. Just because someone has been in your life for years doesn't mean they deserve front row access in your next chapter. Loyalty to familiarity can cost you your future. Sometimes the greatest upgrade you can make is not in your habits, but in your circle. Are you around people who challenge your excuses or comfort them? Do the people you spend time with talk about possibilities or problems? Are they dreamers or doubters, builders or blamers? You must evaluate your environment with the same urgency you'd use to check the foundation of a building, because no matter how strong your intention is, if the environment is toxic, your growth will be limited. Think of your mindset as a thermostat. Your environment sets the temperature. If you want to increase your internal settings, you must place yourself in spaces that reflect where you're going, not where you've been. That might mean joining new communities, attending higher level events, reading books from thinkers who stretch you, and listening to voices that speak to your future. It also means cutting off voices that are constantly rehearsing fear, doubt, gossip, and limitation. Protect your mind like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. You wouldn't plant a seed in polluted soil and expect it to thrive. So why plant your dreams in a toxic environment and expect them to grow? Some of your biggest breakthroughs will come when you make bold decisions about who you allow in your atmosphere. Growth requires space. Expansion demands clarity. Abundance flows in environments of belief. You have to be willing to leave comfort zones that no longer serve your calling. Sometimes that means walking alone for a season. Sometimes it means enduring the discomfort of being the smallest one in the room so you can stretch into new levels. Don't seek comfort. Seek challenge. Surround yourself with people who see your potential, speak to your greatness, and push you to grow. You're not here to fit in. You're here to rise. And rising requires elevation, not just in your thinking, but in your surroundings. If you keep going back to the same rooms, exalting different rests, you're not growing. You're recycling. New outcomes require new atmospheres. When you choose your environment deliberately, you give yourself permission to evolve. You create the space for new thoughts to emerge, for new beliefs to take root, and for new levels of abundance to manifest. Abundance is not just about what you do, it's about where you are and who you're with. Choose wisely, because your environment is either preparing you for your future or keeping you locked in your past. When you make the decision to surround yourself with greatness, your mind begins to believe thatness is your normal. And once your mind accepts abundance as normal, your life has no choice but to follow. Your words are spiritual contracts, and every time you speak, you are authorizing the next season of your life. What you say becomes the blueprint your actions and energy follow. You can't speak doubt all day and expect to manifest abundance. You can't complain about being broke and expect to be wealthy. Your mouth is the steering wheel of your mindset, and your life follows the direction of your declarations. The most powerful shift you can make in cultivating a growth mindset is learning to speak what you believe before you see it. This is not about lying to yourself or pretending. It's about aligning your language with your vision instead of your circumstances. Most people wait until their environment changes before they speak differently, but transformation works the opposite way. You must speak different first, and then your environment will catch up. Words have the power to build or destroy. They are not just sound, they are seeds. When you speak faith, you plant the seed of a new reality. When you speak fear, you reinforce the chains of your current condition. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and too many people are killing their future with casual words. They say things like, I'm just trying to survive, I can't catch a break, and nothing ever works for me. And then they wonder why their life keeps repeating the same cycle. Your words create your world. If you want a life of overflow, you must stop speaking from your pain and start speaking from your promise. Start declaring what you want to experience, not just what you see right now. Your current reality is not the full picture. It's just a snapshot of your past thinking and speaking. You can begin to shift your entire life by shifting your speech. Instead of saying I'm struggling, start saying I'm learning to master this. Instead of saying I never have enough, start saying I'm attracting new opportunities and resources daily. Instead of saying I'm tired of failing, start saying I'm growing stronger with every lesson. The words you speak reprogram your subconscious mind. They rewire your expectations. They signal to your belief system what to focus on. When you speak abundance, you begin to notice opportunities others miss. You walk with a different energy. You make decisions from faith instead of fear. And it all starts with a decision to speak from where you're going, not where you've been. Speaking abundance doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you don't surrender to it. It means you choose to create a new narrative. It means you partner with your future instead of your fears. It means you take the authority given to you and use it intentionally. You were never meant to be a victim of your vocabulary. You were meant to be a master of your message. If you want your life to change, start listening to what comes out of your mouth. Monitor your language like your future depends on it, because it does. Are you speaking like someone who expects increase? Are you speaking like someone who believes they are worthy of success? Are you speaking like someone who is walking into overflow? Or are you rehearsing old limitations and dressing them up as honesty? The truth is, what you say is not just commentary, it is prophecy. Every time you speak in alignment with abundance, you are building a bridge to it. Every time you speak in alignment with lack, you are reinforcing the wall between you and your next level. A speaking abundance trains your brain to expect abundance. And what you expect, you attract. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need everything to be perfect. You just need to speak like it's already yours. Because once you change your language, your energy changes, your confidence rises, your posture aligns, your actions follow. Speaking abundance is not hype. It's an act of faith. And that faith is what creates momentum. The greatest leaders, creators, and visionaries all understood the power of their words. They spoke the unseen until it became seen. They called things that were not as though they were. And that's exactly what you must do. Speak overflow when your account is low. Speak growth when you feel stuck. Speak healing when you're hurting. Speak clarity when you feel confusion. Your words are the first proof that you believe in the life you're building. So don't wait for evidence to speak differently. Speak differently and the evidence will follow. Speak abundance before you see it, and you will start to see it because you spoke it.